What's going on, y'all? Peace to everybody. I hope that everything is going well with y'all. Good to be back on the tube after a week or two. Speaking of that, if y'all want to see more videos, I mean, like almost daily of just me talking, inspiration, relationship information, tour information, and all that stuff. Follow me on Periscope. Periscope is where it is. Okay, if you don't have that app already, Periscope is basically live feed. So it's a live video that is automatically saved, and it's a whole lot better for me. I mean, this is my social network right here. This is the one that I have been waiting for, and I'll tell you why. Because I like to sit back and make videos. I like to communicate, but I don't like making YouTube videos. It takes too much time, right? And it has to load and all these different things. I don't like it. I got over 100 videos, and I used to make these long videos that were like cut up and everything, and it was condensed down into 2 or 3 minutes. It's too much. And there's a lot of times where I've wanted to make videos, but I'm like, you know what? I don't really feel like sitting down making a YouTube video. So there's a lot of information that I have not given because I did not want to produce it on YouTube. But now we have Periscope, and I could do it just like that. Okay? So follow me at Periscope. It's at JL Ford. Okay? At JL Ford on Periscope. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all there. Let me know that you're from YouTube. I appreciate your support. Okay? There was a question that came through. And it came through on my Facebook page. And you can find me on Facebook as well. That's Dream L Ford on Facebook. Or Facebook / that relationship guy. You can find me there. And I normally get to these questions. But I wanted to put this one on video because this is one I wanted to talk about for a while now. So the question was from a young lady. And she was saying, how do I get my boyfriend to want to hang out with me more or chill with me more? It's a good question. And it can go a lot of different ways, okay? So I want to talk about a number of things, but I'm going to try not to make this video an hour long. First of all, I think the number one thing that we got to think about in this case is communication. See, a lot of people do not communicate with their partners. They don't communicate their needs. You have to communicate your needs to your partner. There's just no other way around it. You got to do it. You cannot expect someone to just know what you need, because then we come into this relationship with a general idea. We're thinking about, well, I'm going to speak on behalf of the perspective of a man. There are things that we are taught that women want, right? That all women universally want. Women love flowers. Women love compliments. Women love candy. Things like that, that we're like, every woman likes these things. So if we get into a relationship, the normal male is not really fluent in relationship. He's just not. And I did a video about that a few weeks ago. You can check that out. But a lot of men really aren't fluent with relationship. They think they are, and they'll talk you to death about it, but they really don't know what they're talking about. Ask them how many books they read, or they don't know. They don't know, okay? So they're going to do what they were taught to do, or what they think every woman likes. So this man gets into a relationship with you, and he's doing the same old things. He's getting you flowers on certain days, and then 6 months later, he's not. He takes you on dates. Just the same old, same old. If you don't communicate what makes you different than all of the other women, he's only going to do what he knows or what he has been taught works. That's it. And maybe what he's learned from the other relationships that he's been in. But when we are ignorant about something, we often have to learn the hard way. So that means that you have to be hurt, you have to be sad, you have to be in your feelings or something like that before you communicate to him that you don't feel loved, you don't feel appreciated, you don't feel wanted, these different things. And then he says, oh, well, I didn't know that. Now I know. Let's not even waste any time. Let's let them know from the gate. These are my needs. If you need a lot of time, communicate that. Don't be afraid to be rejected. Okay? Don't be afraid to come across as needy. You have to communicate your needs. That's the whole point of being in a relationship, that your needs are being met. Okay, and you reciprocate that by meeting someone else's needs. Okay, let's not get, you know, into the shoulds when it comes to relationship. This is what it is. Okay, you meet somebody's needs, they meeting your needs, and the minute those needs are not being met, we got a problem. Now we getting into why people cheat, why people break up. Okay, and we're not trying to have those problems. Okay, so you have to communicate. Number two, everybody needs space. Okay, so just because somebody doesn't want to be around you all the time doesn't mean that that person does not want to be with you. Sometimes they just want space. They want to be to themselves. Okay, and they were like that when they were single. Sometimes people come off of a super single layoff, and that's when they've been single so long. That's all they know. Okay, so getting into a relationship is almost like a shock to them, because now they have to get adjusted with being catering to someone else's needs of companionship more often than they would particularly like. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that could be going on here, but everybody needs space, and over time, the need for space can either shrink, right, and that person wants to be with you more, or it can grow and that person wants to be with you less. Now, if it's growing, that person wants to be with you less, that's a concern. Okay, it does take a normal turn in that direction, because in the beginning, you just want to be all together. But then you start to kind of normalize, and then you go back to the amount of space. But if it's continuously getting bigger, like that person never wants to be with you, that's a problem. You communicate it. If it doesn't change, you need to get out of that relationship because your needs are not being met. Okay? And outside of that, one of the most important things I want to talk about, and I want to talk about this in a previous video that I never got around making because we didn't have Periscope, but we do now. Follow me on Periscope at JL4. Is the issue of freedom. Now, I did talk about this in my book, Wear Yes on Your Heart, which I still have copies of. And I talked about this in Why They Cheat and How They Get Away with It. It's a very important topic in that book. Men do not give up freedom. Okay? Not under our own will. Like, we love our freedom. Okay? But freedom is not something that's real, right? It's not tangible. It's an idea. It's to a degree, it's an idea. We feel like we're free, but there's no way that you can ever be completely free. So freedom has different definitions. Okay, like for example, you may be physically free, but you still may be mentally bonded by a number of things. You may think you're free because you're not in jail. Physically, your body is not in jail, but financially, you're in jail. So there is no such thing as complete freedom. You may think you're free to make your own decisions, but you still have to answer to your own conscience. Okay? So there is no such thing as 100% freedom. So everybody has a different definition of what makes them feel free and what makes them feel confined. Okay? Now, again, a man is not going to give up his freedom. Not willingly. So when it comes to a woman, when we talk about marriage, why men don't want to get married right away, or why they kind of shy away from it, a lot of it has to do with the feeling that the freedom will be taken away. Okay? Stay with me. In order for a woman to really capture a man, to really get this man to say, you know what, I want to be with her a lot more. I want to be with her all the time, you know, things like that. A woman has to become that man's freedom. Remember, I told you freedom has different definitions. You can either be handcuffs as a woman, or you can be his freedom, right? An example is if you're in a relationship where anytime your partner comes around you, you feel like you're on lockdown, like you can't look around. You know how like you look left and right at other girls or other guys, and your partner's looking at you like you're crazy, like who you looking at and all these different things. If you're constantly being judged, criticized, and oh my gosh, I've been in that relationship where I was constantly criticized for the way I talked, criticized for the way I dressed, criticized for the way I ate, every single thing criticized. when you're with that person, and you may still be with that person because you love that person and you're trying to make it work, but when you're around that person, you feel like you're in bondage. You feel like you got to step on eggshells. You know, it's just not a comfortable or even delightful relationship at all. You know, it's just like you're just there for whatever reason. You know, that's not how you want to feel when you're with your partner. So sometimes we have to examine ourselves and ask ourselves, how are we making our partners feel? And we have to ask that question as well. We got to ask them, how do you feel? Is your love tank full when you're with me? Because a lot of times we're thinking that it is, but in actuality, it's really not. Okay? Now, you have on the flip side, when my lady, she makes me feel so good. She is so supportive. She does all these nice things. She's not judgmental. She accepts me the way that I am. I absolutely love being around her because people like being in places that promotes their feeling of well-being, right? They like to be in the company of people who promote their feeling of well-being. So if you have a partner who does that, naturally you're going to want to be close to that person. Okay, you feel free, you can be yourself, right? You ain't got to worry about someone's emotional instability, all these different things. You get to be yourself and you enjoy being around that person. Okay, so now your freedom is actually in being around that person, because being away from that person kind of disturbs you, right? And when I say disturbed, I'm not talking about a negative thing. I'm saying like disturb as in you miss being with that person. Disturb as in you can't stop thinking about that person. Disturb as in you're thinking my day would be going so much better if I was around this person. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be a place of peace for your partner. If you're a place of peace for your partner, naturally that person will want to be with you more. You cannot nag someone into spending more time with you because now it's going to be a chore. Okay? It's like you're not spending enough time with me. You're not spending enough time with me. You're not spending enough time with me. And dude's like, okay, I'll spend more time with you. What do you want to do? And the whole time he's there, he's thinking about everything else that he could be doing. Because everything else, right, is better for him in his mind as far as a better time. Hanging out with his boys is a better time. Going to the movies or whatever he wants to do outside of that, going playing sports is a better time than being around you. So if you want to have a partner who spends more time with you, and this is guys, ladies, everybody, it's not about nagging that person into doing it. It's about becoming that person's place of peace. It's about becoming that person's freedom, right? And the only way that you can do that is by learning that person's love language, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you one last thing before I close out this video. One last golden nugget that may save your relationship, okay? Learning how to love someone is the most important thing that you need in a relationship. It is detrimental to your relationship. It is the batteries that will power your relationship. Not simply to keep it going, but to keep it healthy. You need to learn how to love the person that you're with, okay? A lot of times, and this is the secret, this is the key to finding out what it takes to make a person feel loved. Because I can do all of the things in the world for my lady and she not feel loved. I could provide for her financially. I could tell her all the nice things in the world. I could be faithful, but none of those things matter. They don't matter if that is not the type of fuel that she needs in order to fill her love tank. You see what I'm saying? There are different types of fuel. Okay? So, for example, if I'm with someone who likes to be touched and that makes that person feel loved, that's what I have to do. No matter if I'm a touchy-feely person or not, I have to give that person that because that is what makes that person feel loved. Now, here's the secret. You can always tell what makes a person feel loved by the way that that person loves you. Okay? Let me say that again. You can always tell what makes a person feel loved by the way that that person loves you. Why? Because people are naturally selfish. That's not a bad thing. There are two different types of selfishness right now. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place with my speech. I'm dropping some knowledge right now, so y'all better be writing this down. There's two different types of selfishness. Selfishness. Okay, there's positive selfish and negative selfish. Positive is when both parties benefit from your selfishness. So, if I go and I give, well, let's say I go to the store and I want bread. If I buy that bread, it's mutual benefit, a mutual beneficiaries. Okay. Oh, I can't even say the word. It's too early. But both people are benefiting from that exchange. That's what I'm saying. That person gets the monetary funds. I get the bread. Okay. Negative selfishness is if I go steal the bread. So in both cases, I'm doing something for me. Only in one case does another person benefit. Okay. So everybody is selfish. If you ate this morning, that was being selfish. Okay. You're doing for yourself. And people are naturally selfish. So because people are naturally selfish, what they give is actually a mirror of what they want. Okay? They're actually communicating to you, this is what I want. So if you have someone who gifts you all the time, just gifts, this person is great at giving gifts, awesome at giving gifts, right? That is what makes that person feel loved. And I had my first experience with this when I had a very, very close friend. She used to always buy me gifts for my birthday. I mean, this girl bought the best gifts. And I'm horrible at buying gifts. I don't know what to get people. I'm not sentimental. I'm horrible at it, okay? And my friends knew I was horrible at it. I just don't know how to do it. That is not my strong suit. So after a while, the gifts stopped and I stopped hearing from her. So I'm like, what's going on? You know? And, I really tried to get back in contact with her and everything and try to find out what's going on. And after years, I found out that she just felt that I was not reciprocating the type of friendship, or that I was not reciprocating the love that she was giving. Excuse me. Now, I thought I was, because I was given what makes me feel loved, whatever that was, and that's quality time. So I was given what made me feel loved. I'm trying to get my computer back on here. But I was given what made me feel loved. And that was not filling up her love tank. And really the gift given wasn't filling up my love tank. But because she was always there, I was getting what I needed from the quality time. You see what I'm saying? So without getting too deep into all that, what I'm saying is watch how a person moves with you. If that person loves you, watch what they do. Does that person cook and clean? Does that person give you gifts? Does that person always touch you? What is it that that person is always doing to communicate, I love you? I love you. And all you have to do is do that in return. Whatever that is, if that person is always giving you gifts, give that person a gift and watch what happens. If that person is always complimenting you, compliment that person. Watch what happens. Your boy JL knows, okay? So give the love that you are getting. Just reciprocate it. That's all it is. And if that person doesn't pick up what it takes to make you feel loved, then communicate it to that person. Don't wait, or don't give them a JL video. Just say, hey, this is what makes me feel loved. And that person loves you, they will be more than willing to do it. I guarantee you that. Okay? All right, everybody. Listen, make sure that you follow me on Periscope. I probably drop a video on YouTube once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But I drop a video once every day on Periscope. And I'll even watch your videos. So hopefully you got something to share. You can teach me something. Okay? It's been real. It's been fun. But I got to get ready to go to work. One of my jobs. And listen, if you ever want to talk to me personally, go to my website. You can order time to speak with me. I've spoken to so many people over the last week. And we have really done a great job at restoring their relationships, not only with their partners, but with themselves. It is my pleasure to do it. It's it's what I love to do. And you can find my books on my website, dream4.com. All of this is at dream4.com. I hope all of you are doing great. I hope you're doing well in life and love. And I look forward to seeing you soon. All right? Until next time, everybody. Hotep.